the next Shaq and Kobe. We don't need them to catch up to us. Kobe and myself, we're not trying to catch Magic and Kareem. Kobe and our legacy will never be duplicated or imitated. We don't want to get into the situation where they can be the next us, because there will never be a next us. Magic and Kareem can never be us. We can never be Magic and Kareem. And we can never be LeBron and AD, Shaq said to ESPN. He made it clear that each Lakers dynamic duo stands alone. Mike, we often have this conversation whenever we're comparing the GOATs. It's just too tough. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
But it's fun.
I'm going to go the other way on this one. I mean, one of the reasons that we all still love Shaq is that he goes on Inside the NBA and just has takes all over the place for everybody, for players of this generation, for players of the last generation, all kinds of opinions. And that's part of what makes sports fun.
That's what he does.
And it's part of why we can put things into context. So it's not, we could have a debate as to who's better, but the point is they're good enough now to have conversations about it.
Well said.
And so I don't have any kind of problem with doing that. He's not wrong when he says that you're never going to quite equate two guys, just like you're never going to equate one player if you're going to try to do the Jordan LeBron thing, or Magic, Kareem, Jordan, LeBron. So that's tough. But the fact is, all of these guys being Lakers, and how you have too many players to even put on Mount Rushmore, just in purple and gold. That part of it is fun, but I don't mind discussing it a little bit, and I don't think Shaq does either.
Dinger?
I mean, this is the most mature thing that Shaq has ever said, and now Trudell is raining on it and killing him for it. I mean, finally Shaq has come around from his juvenile, childish mentality. NBA is nothing but actors mentality, and he says something profound here and mature, and Trudell says dismisses him. Come on. Give him some credit. That's legit. That's right.
Dang, you're so far in the tank already with your THT tape, and you're trying to throw some water on THT. Not the time, buddy. Not the time to be raining on THT. Now you're going to come back at me about Shaq?
Dinger, he just said you were in the tank, and sometimes you can't get out of the tank. That's basically what he's saying. You only got a few more blocks to save yourself from what he's saying. That's what he's saying. What do you think?
I mean, it's so much more fun to do these shows with Brez and just prove him wrong time after time. It's a little tougher. I got to say.
Oh, I got another good one for you. I'm going to go to you first on this one, Dinger. There's more from Shaq. Are you ready for more maturity?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I hate when you all put power forwards and big men in the same category. You should talk to Tim Duncan, because power forwards and big men are two different categories, period. This was when he was asked about AD being the Lakers' dominant big man.
False.
Where do you see AD in terms of a center? Because Shaq says he's not a center. He's power forward.
Well, I mean, in Shaq's definition, it's totally different, right? A big guy with his back to the basket almost the whole time. That is, to Shaq, that is going to be a center. And a guy like AD who can do so many things, it can shoot the ball from the perimeter, it is just a different type of player. So no matter how many shots he blocks, no matter how tall he is, to Shaq, the game has changed, and in this way, it's natural. This is what older players do. They look at the game and say, well, when I played, it was this way. So I agree with Shaq in that sense. In today's game, we know that AD protects the rim as well as any center there is. So in today's game, he is a great center. There's no question.
True.
Hate to disagree with Shaq again, but Tim Duncan was absolutely a center. Did Tim Duncan ever dribble the ball up the court? Did he ever initiate from the wing? Did he ever shoot from beyond the kind of like the bank from about 15 to 17 feet? He was a back to the basket center, and for the most part, he guarded centers. Now, he did play some with of course, David Robinson early in his career. They had some other big men that they would put next to him, but this was before the NBA changed to where it is now, and everybody spaced out and rarely played more than one big. Now, AD is, of course, also different, because he half the time can play like a guard on the perimeter.
Takes the ball up.
He's crossing people over. He's pulling up. He's fading away. He's getting to the basket and lead. So he is a different type of player. And there are more guys now like AD in the league. But Duncan was a pure center, just like Shaq.
We are evolving. Guys, we have some rankings that have dropped. I'm sure you follow this. So LeBron was tops in both. SI just came out, all right? ESPN already did it. From there, it's most of the same names, but ranked differently. AD was second on ESPN's list. 7th on Sports Illustrated's. Damian Lillard was ranked 7th by ESPN, but he didn't make SI's list, replaced by Joel Embiid. We realize these are artificial rankings, and they don't actually matter, but they sure are fun to talk about. AD second in one, 7th in another. I don't want anybody to lose their job, Mike, but that's just silly.
Well, ESPN's list is better, but I don't even know who writes for Sports Illustrated from the basketball side. A lot of the best writers left, including one of my favorites, Chris Ballard, Ben Golliver the last couple of years. So, yeah, this ESPN one is closer to me to being accurate. And I think, like, for example, Luka being 9th, that is even more insane than AD being number 7. Yeah. But you do, like, the one guy, and, of course, Giannis is great in the regular season, but he's got to get over.
Going to go to break, but Shaquille O'Neal, your name came up about 24 times. A lot of roses coming your way, Shaq. First of all, you have to be thrilled about all of those compliments, but I'm just curious, is it okay that they're already putting LeBron and AD on the list of Laker great duos, and this is their first finals?
Well, one, this is not about me. I haven't played in 10 years. I'd rather be mentioned with Kenny, yourself, and Grant and that. You know, it's an honor to be mentioned. You know, when I went there, I wanted to also make a name for myself. And those two guys are definitely making a name for themselves. You know, they're dominant. You know, they're doing what everyone in La La Land expects them to do. And they're playing great. But again, this is not about me. This is about the LA Lakers versus the Miami Heat. And look, they just went out and played. You know, again, going to the finals in 94, 95, getting embarrassed by Kenny, I always said to myself, if I make it back to the finals again, I have to dominate. Don't be nice, bully ball, elbow people, throw them out the way. And of course, I had the best player in the world on my team, but listen, we had big shoes to follow. You see Magic and Kareem, they really started the whole Showtime thing. They paved the way. So when I first got there, Jerry West sat me down, Kenny, and he said, look, I know you want to do albums. I know you want to do movies. And he pointed up to the Raptors. He said, but if you want to be a Laker great, I need you and Kobe to step up and start winning championships. So, LeBron, thank you for mentioning my name, but it's not about me. I haven't played in 10 years. I got my stuff right here. I'm happy with this, even though I should have had 6, because we should have beat them Rockets. But I told Nick Anderson, don't jump on the pump fake, and he jumped on the pump fake, and my main man Kenny hit the three, and it was all over.
That was Penny.
Penny. That's right. Yeah.
But you know, when you talk about Laker greats, Laker greats, everybody always forgets Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain. Like those two, that duo is just as good as anybody that would have played in this era for sure, or any era. So there's a legacy of Lakers. You know, you can make all-time great teams just by taking Lakers and Celtics. You know, those two franchises have produced the greatest players that's ever played the game. So I will say that Anthony and LeBron, they have an opportunity to do something that Kobe and Shaq does because they're in their, like Anthony's in his prime, and LeBron is not fading. So what happens is now, you know, you have a guy who's in his prime, and then it lasts longer. Like Kobe was coming into it, Shaq was not fading at that time at all. So he was still in his, you know, his momentum. Even though this is LeBron's 17th year, he's in his momentum. So this is something that could be special for the next 3 or 4 years. You know, obviously the West is tough with the Clippers that are in the same arena right now. And you talk about the Golden State Warriors possibly coming back and Portland, all those things. But I don't think that LeBron and AD are worried about any of that. They're saying, we're here. We have now they have the experience, Grant, of being there together. I would like to see them. I would have liked to see them with the fans in the building. I would like to see the Carusos and Danny Greens on the road in Miami, you know, South Beach going crazy. I would have loved to see that environment to get Game 3. Then I like that would be something different.
Certainly.
I agree with you, Kenny. I mean, I think first of all, both of you guys have won, and winning a championship and bringing that core back, the confidence you have, the know-how, and if they're able to pull this out and win this series and win and be champions, that confidence and the way LeBron has taken care of his body, there's some runway that these guys have, and they have an opportunity to win some games here. So, but I just got to say, you know, 83-point Shaq in games 1 and 2, like that's like for all them young kids out there that's staying up late, That was a bad man right there. I didn't like to go
That's
down.
41 and a half.
You know what that
Just
was,
for-
Grant? You know what that, Grant, was? That was barbecue chicken alert. Barbecue chicken alert. Rick Smith's, the Davis boys, that's barbecue chicken alert down there.
There's the Shaq we all know and love. I was wondering where you went. All that humble talk earlier, I couldn't believe it. I thought somebody came in with the invasion of the body snatchers earlier.
That's the Shaq I know.
Exactly.
That's the Shaq I know.